Hey guys, it's Professor Pro, and welcome to episode 5 of Show Me Your Moves. Today, I'll finally be creating a moveset for the character that has, without a doubt, gotten the most requests out of any character since I've started this series. The one and only Minecraft Steve. This is usually the point in the video where I give a brief history lesson for those who aren't aware of who the character is, but I really don't think that's necessary here. Whether you like him or not, you know who Steve is, and you know what Minecraft is. There's no point in me wasting time here. So, let's get straight into the moveset. Steve is an average-sized fellow, but isn't really that fast. I mean, sure, he can seem pretty speedy if you're running and jumping all the time in Minecraft, but if you're just running, you're likely going to get pretty annoyed with how slowly you move. With all this in mind, I gave Steve 2 jumps, like the average Smash fighter, a speed just below Snake's, and a weight stat of 102, just barely making him a heavyweight. Usually when I make a moveset for a character, I only have one goal, to make the character actually feel like themselves and like an extension of their game. But today, there's something else I want to address. I've seen this incredibly stupid notion being thrown around that Steve would just be another basic sword fighter and has no moveset potential whatsoever. I've addressed this before, and I'll say it again. People saying stuff like this are just trying to justify a character they dislike not deserving to be in Smash because they have no genuine reasoning besides, I don't like them. But honestly, I cannot think of a worse character to use this dumb basic sword fighter argument on than Steve, because never before have I seen a Smash candidate so ripe with potential. I've remade this moveset about 4 or 5 times just because I had so many ideas for how Steve could function. So, to prove to these fools that Steve could have one of the most interesting movesets in Smash history, I've decided to only use his sword and bow in one move each. Once you hear they were used in a move, you won't hear about them again for the rest of the video. So, with that long spiel out of the way, let's finally get into Steve's moves. Steve's jab is of course the iconic Minecraft punch. The move's incredibly slow for a jab, but makes up for this with the good damage each hit dishes out. His dash attack has him hop into a minecart and ride a short distance before finally hopping out. Steve's forward tilt is a quick swipe with a hoe. It's a low damaging but fast move. His up tilt is an overhead swing of an axe. And for his down tilt, Steve places a trapdoor on the ground and opens it quickly, sending the opponent in an upward angle. This makes the move very good for starting combos. For his neutral air, Steve pulls out a shield and spins it around himself, doing multi-hit damage to any opponent unlucky enough to be close by. His forward air has him shoot an arrow out of his bow, making his fare very similar to the villagers, only with more range and less damage. However, the arrow does have a chance to be tipped with a harming effect, which would substantially increase the damage output. Steve's back air is a quick snip with a pair of shears. His up air is a strong upward strike with a trident. And for his down air, Steve drops an anvil on the opponent. This is his most powerful aerial and has insane range, but has a lot of startup lag, making it a risk to use in tight situations. Steve's forward smash has him pull out a piston, place a lever on its side, and extend it. The move is a little slow because of the lever needing to be placed and flipped, but does very good damage. His up smash has him grab a beacon and raise it above his head, the brilliant light harming any opponents who touch it. The move's hitbox is extremely thin, but incredibly tall, making it the highest hitting up smash in the game, even beating out Palutena's. For his down smash, Steve uses flint and steel to set fire to the stage. The flames will stay on the battlefield for a short amount of time even after the move is used, harming any opponents who walk through it. The hitbox is pretty small and only hits right in front of Steve, but does insane damage and is easily his strongest base attack. I'm going to skip Steve's neutral special for now because it ties in directly to his gimmick, which I'll discuss later on. Steve's side special is called Potion Chuck. This move does exactly what it sounds like it would do. It has Steve throw a splash potion. The interesting thing is that the potion can either be positive or negative, this being decided by pressing the B button while shielding. If the potion is positive, Steve will throw it at his feet. If it's negative, he'll throw it forward. There are 8 different potions in total, 4 being positive and 4 being negative. The positives include a potion of leaping, which improves Steve's normally abysmal jump height, a potion of swiftness, which improves his speed, a potion of regeneration, which slowly recovers Steve's health, and a potion of strength, which increases the damage and knockback of his attacks. The negatives include a potion of weakness, which lowers the opponent's knockback resistance, a potion of slowness, which reduces their speed, a potion of harming, which just does normal damage to them, and a potion of poison, which will slowly do damage to them for the amount of time it lasts for. Each potion lasts for about 10 seconds and have an equal chance to be randomly selected when Steve uses the move. However, you can't get 2 of the same potions in a row. After this move is used, Steve has a 5 to 10 second period where he can't throw any potions. Steve's up special is called Ender Pearl. It's a teleportation recovery, but is very different from all the teleports we currently have. The main difference is that the key to the recovery is a projectile. While up B is held, a small arrow will appear next to Steve, giving the player a better look at where the Ender Pearl will land when it's thrown. Steve's Ender Pearl can travel absurd distances, giving it the largest teleport radius in Smash history, but it has one fatal weakness. It will teleport Steve to whatever it hits, whether that be the stage or ledge as planned, or an opponent, making it extremely easy to gimp. Luckily, Steve has a way to get around this, being able to throw 2 Ender Pearls while airborne. This allows Steve to try and mix up the opponent so that he can recover safely, and also adds another level of depth to his air game. Steve's down special is called Wolf Egg. He uses a spawn egg to create a wolf companion. The moment Steve is damaged by the opponent or vice versa, the wolf will immediately attack the foe. It can be killed quite easily, but does great damage with every bite. Steve has a tethered grab. He uses a lead to tie up his opponents and then pulls them in. It has great range, but like most tether grabs, is weak in the speed department. Steve's pummel has him repeatedly hit the opponent with his pickaxe, almost as if he were mining them. His forward throw has him poke the opponent with a torch. The throw isn't very strong and doesn't send opponents very far, but it does leave a slight poison effect from the torch's flame burning the fighter. Steve's back throw is his strongest. He tosses the opponent into the air, then chucks a fire charge at them, doing major damage and knockback. His up throw has him forcefully stab the opponent with an end rod. And for his down throw, Steve uses his shovel to bury the opponent. Now for Steve's most powerful attack, his final smash. The move is simply called Ender Dragon. Steve places a dragon egg down on the stage which summons the Ender Dragon. He then hops on its back and wreaks havoc on anyone who gets in their way. The final smash would work somewhat similarly to Pac-Man's, having the dragon fly across the screen multiple times before coming in for a final fiery attack, damaging all opponents who happen to be a little too close. Steve's ledge attack has him swipe the opponent with his sword. Yup, the weapon that would supposedly make his entire moveset only being used in a ledge attack. Take that, Steve haters. His get-up attack has him swing a fishing rod around himself before getting up to his feet. Steve's side taunt has him take out an Eye of Ender, which flies around him for a short amount of time, then returns to his pocket. His up taunt has him put a pumpkin on his head, fail to pull it off a couple times, then finally succeed. And for his down taunt, Steve places a cake on the ground and starts to eat it slowly piece by piece. The taunt is very long and is best used during a star KO so you don't have to worry about your opponent interrupting your meal. Steve's first victory screen has him fly in with his elytra, stick the landing, and look at the camera as the announcer declares his victory. His second victory screen has him enter a frame while riding a pig, carried on a stick in hand. The pig suddenly freaks out and starts running around the screen wildly, continuing even after Steve's victory is announced. His third victory screen has him walk in as fireworks go off all around him, from dispensers placed on the floor. And for his stage entrance, Steve simply gets out of bed. Text saying Steve has joined the battle will come up on screen, a reference to the join the game messages that will pop up when someone joins a world in Minecraft. Now, we get to talk about the really interesting stuff. Steve comes from a game like no other, so of course I had to give him a moveset like no other. And the only way to do that? With a gimmick. I knew that I had to fit a crafting system in with Steve somehow, but the main challenge was figuring out how to do it in a way that still felt realistic to Smash Bros. Like it could really be a thing. I went through multiple drafts of it, but I finally found the one that I like the most and the one that I think works the best. Steve's character icon has 6 inventory slots next to it, 5 on the right side and 1 on the left. The right side gets filled with what we're going to call craftable materials, while the left side gets filled with usable materials. When Steve begins the battle, he'll start with 5 craftable materials which can range from slime balls to stone to leather to anything. The only way to get new materials in your craftable inventory is by crafting something out of them, thereby freeing up space. That's where Steve's neutral special comes in. The move allows him to use items in his craftable inventory to create something usable, which will then be put in his left side usable inventory slot. There's a ton of things that can be crafted, but here's the majority of them. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time describing all of them since it would take a long time, so if you're interested in seeing what they all do, pause the video now. In fact, I'd advise you to do so. Minecraft has you start from nothing and build your empire, and I wanted to represent that with Steve's moveset. He's the first Smash character that actively gets stronger the longer the battle goes on, because while his craftable inventory gets reset every time he gets KO'd, he keeps all of his weapons and armor upgrades. This encourages the Steve player to constantly craft different things in order to power up and become the giant threat on the battlefield, and encourages the opponent to try to stop Steve from crafting new armor and tools. It makes him different from any other Smash fighter in existence. While Steve is the main face of Minecraft, he's not the only face of Minecraft. Alex also exists, and I think it only makes sense to have an Olimar Alf situation between the two of them. I based all of their skins off of mobs from the game, except the Herobrine costume of course, but that was something I felt like I needed to include. Very much worth it. It's one of my favorites along with the Mushroom skin. I feel like Minecraft is so huge that a stage that only explored the overworld would be a waste. It needs more. So I decided to go with a moving stage that would go through various locations in Minecraft. Named New World, the stage would start off in the overworld, go through a nether portal, come back to the overworld, and finally go to the end before repeating the process. A stage like this could be a ton of fun, especially if enemies like Ghast could attack you while you're in their area. Minecraft has one of the most iconic soundtracks in gaming history. If you went out onto the street and blasted Sweden, I'm confident that a lot of people walking by would be able to identify it. But similarly to Banjo-Kazooie, the music simply isn't fit for Smash. It's way too relaxing, which works well for what Minecraft is, but not for Smash Brothers. So I decided that all the Minecraft tracks that would be included in Smash would need to be remixes. And because I'm trying to be realistic, there's only 10 of them. But I feel like the ones I picked are Minecraft's most notable tunes and would sound absolutely amazing in remix form. Moog City and Mice on Venus especially would be fantastic. And that's about it for this episode of Show Me Your Moves. What did you guys think? Do you want to see Steve in Smash? Did you like my moveset, or are there a lot of things you would change? Let me know in the comments below. Professor Pro, out.